Hey guys.
Alright folks, we're here today to check out the Patreon poll winner of the week, Amaranthe, with Damnation, not Plan, Flame. Damnation Flame. Now, they have a new singer, they have a new growler, I think that's what they're calling them these days.
Okay.
A new heavy vocalist.
I think that's the better one.
I hate the term growler.
Yeah, growler, I don't even know who uses that.
People do.
Apparently.
Yeah, some people in bands too.
Really?
Yeah, they use that term. Which,
dude, heavy vocalist sounds more, I think, professional.
Growler just sounds like somebody who's just like barking at the moon.
Exactly.
Like a werewolf. Like we hired a werewolf. That's what we did. You know, like we're looking for somebody to add a little bit of a spice to the band. We got a werewolf.
We need like an ambiance, you know. So we're adding
some atmosphere.
Some atmosphere. So we're adding this person who can.
We're going to release a goth record. So we need a we need a werewolf in Paris. So anyways, Damnation Flame. Every time I see this song, I feel like saying Damnation Flame. So are you ready for this new Amaranth?
Yeah.
All right, let's check this out. Oh, there's some wolves there. I wonder if they're a Karelia.
Matriarch, a hierarchy outside of the status quo. Tormented leeches faced upon the heroes and fantastic control. The choice of condemnation breeds an army of accursed. The dominion will grow. Fortified in the circle. Let it be known. Watch her ascend. Concede unto her. Now you relent. For she has crossed the oceans of time. Damnation Flame. Burning us down where we're already bound, and the earth is bleeding. The mark of the wild in the shape of a ghoul in a pouring rain. Say what you wrote on the trembling. Damnation Flame. Rule across the centuries, a heresy, a mark on the fevered soul. Heracles made their choice, and a fluttering dance will come your Blackened inquisitions fall to witchery and thrall, and all that you sold was your immortal soul. Now you shall be whole, not finished man. Surrender to her. Her bloodline is damnation defined. Damnation Flame. Burning us down where we're already bound, and the earth is bleeding. The mark of the wild in the shape of a ghoul in a pouring rain. Say what you wrote on the trembling. Damnation Flame. Concede unto her. Her bloodline is damnation divine. Damnation Flame. Burning us down where we're already bound, and the earth is bleeding. The mark of the wild in the shape of a ghoul in a pouring rain. Say what you wrote on the trembling. Damnation Flame.
Fuck, the video is cool, man. The animation is really well done.
Yeah, the live action.
Yeah, I like the
animation,
mixture of
yeah,
the
yeah.
animation blending in with them. So that was really cool. Really, really cool.
I don't know what vampires have to do with the Damnation Flame, though.
It's the flame that
The
burns
thing-
eternally.
Oh.
So no, because they're damned for eternity because
True,
vampires
true.
live forever, right?
Live
so
forever.
so it's the flame that burns for
But not
eternity.
immortal.
Well, technically they're not immortal because if you put a stick through their heart, or if they see the sun, or they see the sun, but if the sun rays hit them, or I was gonna say a silver bullet, but that's a werewolf. So I guess if you get hit with a case of Coors and you're a werewolf, you're a werewolf.
A werewolf.
A werewolf. You're
I
fucked.
gotta say though, when it came to vampire things, vampire things were very hip in like the 2012 area.
It was a whole interview with a vampire where they had the three buff guys. They had Tom Cruise, they had Brad Pitt, and
Pitt.
I can't remember who the other motherfucker was, but there was three of them. It was
No,
like
but
the three hunks.
But I'm saying like like Twilight had that shit.
Oh yeah, and then we had the Twilight stuff. Then we had True Bloods on TV.
True Blood, but then we had
Man, there was a-
Vampire Diaries.
There was a
and shit
period
like
of
that.
time where, like
It was all
Buffy,
vampires. Buffy, but I'm saying, but that Buffy was a little bit older, I'd say.
Buffy was ahead of the curve.
Yeah, but I'm saying
yeah.
the 2010-12 area was very vampire heavy, and like I don't know why it was like so many like My Babysitter's a Vampire. That
Everything
show,
was a vampire.
dude. Everything was a vampire.
I got sucked by a vampire.
But I think out of everything vampire, because I thought that's what made vampires cringy.
It was just the overuse of vampires.
The overuse of them, and then all the
It all started in Sesame Street with a count. 1.
Yeah, when people
2.
when people ask me who's your favorite vampire, and I say the Count from Sesame Street, and they say he doesn't count, I'm like, yes, he does.
Well played. Well played.
No, but
All right.
I felt like that got cringy, especially when how there was the whole like goth kid area, like people were goth, and
But they
like,
were also vampires.
and then there was the emo kids,
And
but
they
then there's
kinda
also the
blended.
vamp kids,
So
right?
and there was a Venn diagram
There was
where
a-
all of them connected in the middle.
But they didn't want to admit it,
But it was true.
even though they all had similarities, they just didn't want to admit
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
And that's when it became cringy. But I feel like out of everything vampire related, I feel like the Castlevania series.
Yeah, that's also
But that shit's good though.
That shit
That's
is good.
newer.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like that's what made like.
Okay, are you going somewhere with this whole fucking thing?
No. I'm just talking about vampires. I feel like that. I feel like
Where's the point coming to this?
no. There's no point. It's that.
No
It's that.
point.
It's that.
Well,
it's
that's
that,
pretty much the
I feel like,
synopsis
I
of
feel
all
like
of our
the-
videos.
I feel like my point was that they made something that I found cringy, which was vampires, into something cooler. Because I really like this video and I really like the whole vampire thing. That
But
they've
I don't know
added.
if you probably don't remember this because you have the memory of an elephant. So
Elephants never forget, dude.
is that true?
Yes.
So what forgets all the time?
Dory from Finding Dory.
Okay, so you have the memory of a goldfish. So
A
anyhow,
memory of a 90-year-old person.
goldfish. Let's go with the goldfish. So anyhow, you probably don't remember this, but one of the first times when we checked out Amaranthe on the channel, I mentioned that Olaf, the guitar player, looks like a vampire, has the vampire look.
Yeah,
So
but you've
it's
also-
taken them
you've
5
also-
years
you've
to
also
kind of
said
like
that,
play on
You
that.
also said
and-
that about Seven Spires.
No, because they have all the pirate shirts.
Yeah, but the pirate shirts also fit with vampire shit. Like, it's very frilly around the cufflinks.
It goes back to the interview with the vampire. It goes back to that.
Ah, yes.
In those 3 hunks.
No,
So anyways.
there was that, but also, you know what came to mind that sparked the whole vampire thing? Was we were talking about, like, how they're not immortal, and then I remembered that, I think it was the last ever episode of Deadliest Warrior, it was vampires versus zombies. Do you remember that?
No.
It was 100 or, like, 200-300, like, a couple hundred zombies versus, like, 3 vampires, and the vampires won.
So anyhow, my point being to this whole thing, that when we first check out Amaranthe on the channel, I don't know if when we first check out, but early on in our introduction to the band, I mentioned that he looked like a vampire. And I'm just surprised that it's taken them this long to
do
kind of
it.
play off of that.
Yeah.
Because if there's a band that has a couple of members that could be a vampire, like Elise is, like, she can pull off a very good vampire too, right? So if there's a band that has a couple of members that give you that vampire vibe, this is definitely one of those bands.
Yeah.
So I'm just surprised that it took them that long to kind of pull this card. Now, before I talk about the song, let me just once again emphasize this. The video is really good.
Oh, no, yeah,
The
live
video is really good.
I
The
love
mixture
the-
of the real thing with the animation.
But the animation
back
is like
and
live
forth.
action. It's live action
Yeah.
animation because it's tracking, it's movement like tracking.
Yeah, it's doing whatever they were doing.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like it blends from one into
Like I
the
said,
other.
it's movement tracking. Where
Whatever you call it.
It's able to, you're able to animate over a moving person.
It's fucking good. It's what it is. I don't care. It's fucking good. Now, the song. What's your take?
I enjoyed it. It's very, it has a catchiness to it. and it has that Victorian or
But that goes with the whole vampire
that goes
thing.
with the whole vampire thing, right?
That was their heyday, the Victorian times.
Was it though?
Yeah, once again, Interview with the Vampire.
I thought it was always like Transylvania and stuff.
No,
right?
that's the birth.
That's the birth. Yeah.
Their climax was during the Victorian times. That's when they did most of their sucking.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they were definitely swallowers, all of them. So. Anyway, go watch Interview with the Vampire.
You know, another vampire thing that hit me.
By the way, it's Interview with the Vampire, but shouldn't have been Interview with the Vampires? Anyways.
But dude, another thing hit me was the Family Guy thing where he was about to suck this girl's blood, and then he just takes a syringe, gives it to the bat, and the bat comes back with a lab report saying she has like something, and he's like, "Good thing we have the lab."
Yeah, well,
you can't be too as a vampire nowadays. You can't be too.
There's no such thing
risky.
as too. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta tread lightly.
All vampires need to be careful.
So yeah, they're a dying breed. So, anyways.
They're going the way of the dodo.
The freaking song is really good.
It is, yes.
But I gotta say this, it's really good because it has an outstanding chorus.
Yeah.
To me, this song is the chorus.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm listening to this track, I couldn't wait for
it's one big chorus.
But it's like I wanted even more of it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we complain that songs are repetitive. This song, they could have thrown in the chorus another 10
because
times.
I feel like the chorus is what made the song
repetitive.
bigger. Like in the verses, I felt the song was a little bit.
I wasn't a huge fan of the Power Wolf Transylvania keyboard sound in the verses.
Yeah, because it didn't work.
It didn't really
but the reason why it didn't work
of...
is because I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like there wasn't enough bass lining in the verses. I felt like the verses they were missing some oomph to them, and that's why I like the chorus so much. Because the chorus is where the oomph came back.
I agree. And the chorus is really hooky.
And the chorus is really hooky, yeah.
Both musically and vocally, it's super hooky. I just felt like I get why having those, Power Wolf Transylvania style key. I get it. It goes with the theme of the song. I get it. But sound-wise, it felt a little bit out of place.
But I think it only felt out of place.
It popped too much.
I think it fell out of place because there was no, the song felt like there was missing that oomph. I think if you add
if the drums sounded a little bit bigger, if the bass got a little bit bigger...
Yeah,
I think then you're right. I think having that more as a layer, as a little texture in the sound, not as predominant in the sound, you're probably right.
Having it a sprinkle on a thick sound, because the sound is thin during those verses.
And you don't notice those keyboards in the chorus. The chorus is very bombastic. The chorus fills
up.
That's
why the chorus fills up. I enjoy the chorus a lot more.
Oh, the chorus is so good. Both musically and vocally, the chorus is outstanding. This song to me is just like fast forward through the verses, let me get to the chorus. I'm not saying that's what I would do, but I'm just saying it's one of those songs that you just look for.
Because the verses are not so long.
The song is pretty quick, but I'm just saying sometimes we complain about songs being repetitive, and this one they could have repeated it another 10 times that chorus, and I would have been totally fine with it because I really liked it.
Yeah.
I thought the chorus was the money shot.
Yeah.
Definitely the money shot. All right, this was a good one. Good introduction to the new band member too. It's a nice way of throwing him out there. I was going to say to the wolves, but... Huh?
Also looks like a vampire.
Fuck, he had a little bit of a vampire look, I must say. Definitely pulling it off. So, but the Victorian look adds to it.
And the teeth. The fake canines.
You can't be a vampire without the teeth. Like, what the fuck? Then you're not a vampire. Then you're just somebody who bites people. You're just a biter.
You're just Luis Suarez.
Yeah, at that point, exactly. Well, that's deep cuts, because a lot of people won't know who you were talking about.
Oh, about Suarez?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't know who he is anymore.
Really?
Yeah, unless you're really into footy,
you don't even have to be really into him. Are
you telling me that people still remember the whole bite incident? That was 10 years ago.
It was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, so you think people still remember that? I don't think so,
dude,
man.
I remember it was like it was yesterday. I was on the fucking playground in elementary school, and
people were biting each other?
No, and we were watching, we went inside because they were playing the game on the screen inside, in the gym, and then I saw him bite him, we saw, the replay and everything. I remember that shit like it was yesterday.
We had a bottle opener that was Luis Suarez.
His
mouth was the bottle opener. So anyways, on that note, guys, thank you for watching this video. Thank you to everybody that voted on Patreon that made this the most voted video of the week. So thank you for that, and we'll see you all at the next video.
See ya.